Yeah, hi there. I'm really sorry that I wasn't able to get through to you sooner. I hope your birthday's going to be going okay. No, don't feel that way. I was seeing this at work, and I thought of this. If you're going to talk about quitting, I want somebody to explain to me why a t-shirt company actually prints the shirt phrase "tap out" in huge letters on their shirt everywhere. People actually want to go out and buy it. Yeah, well, do you know what that means? I'm sorry, because tap out is what losers do when they're wrestling and they can't take the pain anymore. They want to quit, so they tap out. That's where the phrase comes from. Yeah, and people want to go wear this. I know. So people don't get it. And that's why I'm saying don't feel bad. I thought of this earlier today, and I'm sorry that you're going through this I know. I'm sorry that you weren't able to get out for your birthday. The thing is, when most Americans, turn 16, they get a party or they get presents or cards when they turn their sweet 16. But, don't feel bad that nothing's going on. Well, on that summer day when I turned 16, I'm sure that my family said happy birthday to me. But I felt so incredibly alone that day. I had to actually walk over to where my friend was working so that I wouldn't feel so alone and I wouldn't cry so much. So, yeah, that's how I spent my 16th birthday. So I'm sorry. And I said if you wanted to be able to come out here. Yeah. Oh, I know. Oh, don't complain. The thing is, after another year of school dances that I never went to, they actually asked me to monitor the entrance of one of the dances. Yeah. Like, I'd just sit there this way and see all the happy couples entering the building, and I'd hear all that music from just beyond those front doors where all the important people were. Yeah, that really lifted my spirits, I know. Well, that's why I say don't worry about it. Oh, it gets better, trust me. Because I just went to my high school reunion. And yeah, it was funny to see Mr. Popularity, Mr. Suave and debonair, 30 pounds heavier, and surprisingly short looking. And he actually came up to me to say hello and ask how I was. Now, I guess in the grand scheme of things don't really change, because by the end of the evening, all the kids were, it was just like high school all over again, and everyone was up in their little cliques, gathered together in groups. Yeah, and I ended up sitting on a sofa alone in the hallway afterwards waiting for something to happen. Well, that's why I'm calling you, because it's your birthday and you're awesome, and you should actually come to the poetry open mic that I'm running. Well, I hope you're able to come here. You hang in there, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and welcome to the Gallery Cabaret. Hello. Picking up my phone hook here now. Hello. It's great to see everybody here. Thank you for, and I'm in stereo with the microphones now, trying to figure out the right height one. We've got a really cool evening because we've got, I want to sing his name, El DeGenova. It's El DeGenova. I don't know why. I'm sorry. We got a phenomenal feature for now, so I'm looking forward to that one. I can't clap it in. Yay! And this week you won't get to hear me reading things from CC&D and Down in the Dirt. I'll save that nonsense for next week for you. But before I call up the first feature, who I will make pay for this later, I've got a happy bag here where I'm going to collect everyone's life savings for our phenomenal feature and pass that around because this guy's going to be so worth it tonight. I'm going to start over there with my money and then just pass it around like a vulture, like you, with your money and your money. So please, ladies and gentlemen, who will I call up first? I think I'll have to call up Senior Hurley. Please get over Patrick Hurley. Patrick, get on up here. Yes, I got to just clap. I don't tangle up. Get all this stuff. I got to put a ton of money in here for a feature.
What's on the bar?
Huh?
What's on the bar?
Ooh, got money on the bar.
Who's our piano player?
I don't know.
I miss our piano player.
Yeah, Gary hasn't been here.
Yeah, he was fun.
He went AWOL.
Yes,
He was coming like every other time.
Yeah, he got just pretty much every time.
Something new.
Yeah,
And I don't have a title for it yet. If it were coming, would you know it? Walking in the woods, leaves crunch under footfalls, the smell. Crisp air fills lungs, her hair, the scent of autumn. She is in your arms, so small. Tears abate, your shoulder now damp. Simple, the events of life. Difficult, the events of life. You are her everything. She is in your arms now, safe. Her hair smells of freedom. This is freedom, you think. As she holds you close, tears abate. Your shoulder dirty with snuff. Leaves, the scent of leaves in her hair. I love you. I love you too, Daddy.
All right.
Whisper Winds. It's from my 8th book, Screws Fall Out. Whisper winds of change, the fields hear your name. You call out the children to play and they play. You call out the flowers to bloom and they rise above your call, sending explosions of color to our eyes. You rattle the winter limbs of trees so they burst forth leaves to catch your breath and shake a new sound to our ears. You inhale moisture from there, package it in giant puffs of fluff, and send it here for us to enjoy as shifting sky statuettes, releasing cool showers that quench thirst and brighten our vision with promising arcs of color. Whisper winds of change. Tell us of your past travels and future directions. Tell us of the oceans you swam, pushing up waves that you rode crashing to shore. Tell us of mountains you scaled only to slide down the other side as a happy child playing in a park. What seeds of tomorrow did you lift in your arms as you swept the broad plains, spreading future life before you for our enjoyment? When cleaning the urban grit with gusts of promise, did you stop to admire plastic bags lifted to the upper windows of skyscrapers or the little leaf tornadoes swirling a delicate dance in street corners? Whisper winds of change. Bring us the hope of a new season. Cuddle our cold arms with your warm breath. Chill our cheeks with a fresh new spirit. We welcome your words and open our hands to feel your embrace. And from my 5th book, which is Janet's favorite title, Pull Tabs and Other Things to Stick Your Fingers Through. It has come to this, a change of seasons it has, wondering where the next. It has come to footfalls in unknown directions, this time when one must decide to decide. It has come to this, day-to-day creeping petty pace of tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Come to this, getting off the boat, going all the way, ready to face all the tigers in the jungle, to face the night's bitter cold, the day's vanquishing sun, ready to walk face exposed to the rain, accept moisture as a gift. It has come to this place where this voice within receives attention. It speaks now to come to where you've been, where you're going. It has come to this change of seasons. I have books.
Get his books.
I will
They're
sell
awesome.
them.
He's got very, very cool books that he does with actual groceries, paper bags. They're awesome. And they have cool titles, like pull tabs and things you stick your fingers through. So, thank you. We'll see you on our timing for that. And because I only recall him being here for a feature, I think in 2010, and because he was here nice and early, I think I may take the man with the beret next, if Senor Hernandez is ready for something. I don't even know if they're listening. They're like, give it up for David Hernandez! Woo!
Yeah. Check it out.
It's so terrible.
Thank
It's
you.
easy on the fingers. And the eyes.
It's so incredible.
It's good to be here.
It's
It's good to see my old
Good to have
friends
you here.
and all that. I got a book too, but I can't sell it because I only got one copy. So, hell with it. Let me see. Oh, here's a good one. How to conjugate the word Hispanic. I panic, you panic, he panics, she panics, it panics, we panic, you all panic, they panic, everybody panics with these Hispanics. Thank you very much. Why I Want to Be a Real Poet by David Hernandez Garcia Rodriguez Ortiz Jr. I want to be a real poet so I can be deep, dark, and profound, so that no one will know what I'm talking about. But in fear of being called stupid, they will label me instead as symbolic and complex. I want to be a real poet so I won't have to be happy. I will be angry, bummed out, bewildered, insensitive, alcoholic, drug addicted, concave, convex, and seriously conflicted. I want to be a real poet so I can hang out in slummy, dirty joints, or in a clean-cut university, wearing tweed suits and taking inspirational walks through cherry lanes. So I can character assassinate fellow poets belonging to a different clique from my own, while simultaneously signing my newest poetry book entitled Blueprint for Unity. Finally, I want to be a real poet so I can participate in poetry discussions and be able to use such terminology as allegory, beat, cadence, denotation, eulogy, notation, polyrhythm, repetition, syntax, theme, units, valediction, somatic ellipsis, and onomatopoeia. But unfortunately, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I won't be a real poet after all. Thank you very much. Al, it's nice to see you.
You too. Thanks for
Good to
coming.
see you. Friends here that I run into. You know, I've been doing this since 1969. Can you believe it? Jesus, that's a long time. And I can't remember too much of it. But it's been good. It's been good. It's good to see this poetry finally, really taking off. And it's been such a steady thing going on for years now. And I like that. I like that very much. You know, poetry's very much alive and well here in the city. I'm going to do one more and see what happens. Why I Hate My Bicycle Helmet by David Hernandez. My well-meaning wife bought me a black bicycle helmet that I'm supposed to wear whenever I ride my bike. It's big and black, aerodynamically slick, and looks just like a huge black beetle you see in the forest preserve during the summer when people picnic there. I don't like my bicycle helmet. As a matter of fact, I hate my bicycle helmet and hardly ever wear it. Sometimes this causes stress between my wife and I. The reason why I hate wearing my bicycle helmet is because whenever I see myself in the mirror with the helmet on, it looks like my head is shoved up a beetle's ass. And then people will stare at me and say, "Hey, look at that beetle with a Puerto Rican up his ass." And that's why I don't like wearing that stupid helmet. Thank you very much.
David, you're featuring at with Waiting for the Bus in a couple of months, or someone's
Yeah, I think so.
someone's having you.
exciting.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Someone's
Announce
having
it.
you
When, what,
somewhere.
where?
It's waiting for the bus.
Waiting for the bus. Is that going to be at Jack's house?
It's back. We're
Yeah,
back
I
at
would
Jack's.
assume so,
We're back
yeah.
at Jack's.
Back
That was
at
their
Jack's.
Monday night.
Back at Jack.
And he does another day, do you?
Yes.
And that's a very
Small,
cool
dedicated
place.
That is.
Yeah.
It would be cool to be back there. I like it there.
Yeah.
But I am going to go on String of Men because I don't have my list, so because he was so awesome, he had his name on the list twice. I'm going to call up Mr. Tom Roby. Tom, get it up here.
Yeah.
Here, the stage is yours.
All right, I got a couple of books here, and I'm just gonna open it up and see what I find. This is courting success, something we're always trying to do here on the scene. Don't you feel uneasy about her, that she's too much or not enough, lasts too long, like sex without love, or won't last long enough, sets you up to let you down, never lets you have success you want, only success they want you to have. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, your best friend, your worst enemy. Success is not now when you're a wannabe. Success is not later, since you're yet to come. Success is not then, when you're a has-been, a sham, who couldn't keep her going, bitch success, trumpet success, sporting her 2 C's and 3 S's. God, how I love her! But don't tell her. She'll test me with her twin sister, failure. Start me talking new love, just as sexy as her sister, just as good looking. Once I get her out of the back alley into the shower with some new tricks, since America loves nothing better than failure dressed for success. If I can just keep her self-destruction under control, since when she blows, watch out. She'll leave you in the gutter where you'll find yourself with a brief look up the dress of success as she struts down the street with her new lover, your worst enemy. Here's one I picked up in kind of a bunch of encounters with J.J. Jameson, otherwise known as I forget. But J.J. had an orientation to things. So this is called What's Shaken. For a long time, nobody showed me any secret handshakes. So when a college fraternity finally let me in and gave me one with the usual drum roll, it was so pedestrian and prosaic, I couldn't believe I had been aching all my life for this nondescript relationship, even though, had I thought about it at all, there's only a limited number of signs anybody can make with 10 fingers, a palm, a wrist, forearm, elbow, shoulders, or head, but maybe that is getting too far away from the hand. Since how many angles are there for wearing a backward, sideways, or inside-out baseball cap that makes me stand out from all the other gangs that ever were or ever will be, or why pledge it all? Since if you need to be different, like everybody else, from the humdrum, then make up your own secret handshake, like right hand to left hand with palms inside out, waggling middle fingers, or linked pinkies, or coupled OK signs, and wear your cap shade brimmed forward secretly knowing that you are offbeat, strange, and so sufficiently diverse and self-possessed that when your right hand disputes with your left, you can slam the fist of the one into the palm of the other to end any debate in your very own secret society. Thank you. So one more here. We'll just let the wheel of fortune spin. All right, here's one I haven't read in a long time. Bottom line, glimpsed on a number 6 bus. Potholes jolt the packed aisle, make me grab a pole and peek over the shoulder of the seated lady who peers into her sawtooth paycheck envelope and audits the residuals from the takeout boxes with a bleeding paper-cut index finger. Gross pay. Cha-choom, 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 cha-choom. Tax fed. Cha-choom, cha-choom, cha-choom. FICA. Cha-choom, cha-choom. Medicare. Cha-choom, cha-choom. Med Life. Cha-choom. Tax Illinois. Net. Then presses the end of the envelope with both hands to open it wider and wider like a mouth as she gapes into the gap, calculating what must be let go until the bite snaps shut on thin pay. And I think if I had been able to get to her seat earlier, she would be standing here, the envelope safe in her purse and her pain laid away until she got home. Thank you.
Yeah.
Going for our time.
Yeah.
And I would say to everybody, but everybody's like pretty much gotten that we should probably just make sure that we're okay in time. Otherwise, we can do a round robin limited to 3 or 5 minutes if you got one insanely long piece. But I think everybody here knows that stuff. And I usually say to people that there would be 2 podcasts because we're usually recording the open mic as well. If anybody hates the idea of being recorded, let me know and I can make sure that you're not recorded for it. But I actually don't know if I would have this be a podcast. It might be a YouTube clip, but it might not be a podcast because next week we have a bonus week here at the Gallery Cabaret because a man from South Africa is going to be in town for that week only. Francois Leroux, the hot man of South Africa, is going to be in town. So we're going to do the poetry open mic, and he's going to be the feature from 7 till 9 p.m. And these wonderful people here have allowed him to actually be here for a performance with me afterwards. So if you want to hear whatever on earth I could come up with his music, we're going to be doing the show together afterwards. So if you want to come and hear some awesome music or see if you can read something, I don't know if he's cool with that or what, but you know, he's an awesome guy, he really is. And I'd be honored if you'd want to stay at least later for whatever we do for the show. Now, I'm done with talking about that. Now I have to get me a woman on up here. Did she? I can't see. Did Jenene leave? I'm here. I'm like, she was the top. So, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jenene Ravesloot. She's like, oh,
The girl has to have her booze.
understood.
It's so embarrassing.
No.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. I'm just going to do 3 little poems. I'm going to start with Because He Couldn't Remember. The Marriott's Marbella Beach Resort, white marble floors, whitewashed walls, lush geranium gardens. We can see from the balcony 2 blue pools that shine like cat eyes in the sun. The sound of hola, hola, as we exit the elevator, head for the car. The Autopista del Sol, your father asking, who are you? Over and over, while lemon trees, blood red soil appear, disappear in the convex rearview mirror. Mural icon in Pilsen. Painted Virgin Mary in blue and white. On an abandoned whitewashed building, painted Virgin, real window box, plastic flowers, blue ones, yellow ones, red ones. A festooned arch of miniature lights above the Virgin Mary's head. 2 men who lean against an old car in stained tees, dirty beige slacks. Their smiles as radiant as this Virgin Mary at dusk. One more. Notes at low tide. 1. Here are the damaged ivory keys, the discordant black white of it, all the gray shades in between, flat as sweat. The flushed and thrilling music dies. The dance is over. Yellow tablecloths are stained, smell like brine, spoiled oysters at midnight. Then, in the silence, tilting moon, white summer garden, too. Have you grown tired of mourning for things that no longer exist? The beloved, after he is gone. The shape of an arm, the curve of a thigh that reminds you of him. Aren't you weary of it? What is desired is gone, the music has stopped. You could be happy here. A certain joy could creep in, as in the staying hand of a maestro. No movement. Shadowed score. Quiet sound. Thank you.
This is so exciting. There are women up here. It's like it's usually just me. Like, here's another guy. And somebody asked me, he's like, can you do just one piece? And I said, sure you can. You're more than allowed to. But that drives me to do one piece right now. But I'm going to try to do it a little bit differently. If any of you have heard this before, it usually sounded a little more straight. So I don't know how much I could change this, but we'll see if this works. This is too far. When she met me, she told me I looked like Ani DiFranco, long, dark locks. But as time went on, I knew I couldn't be her. I was never good enough, thin enough, pretty enough. I'm not a pretty girl. So I decided that I would work out. I'd use a stair stepper. I ate rice cakes and wheat germ. I ate Slim Fast, but I wasn't thin enough. I only dropped 20 pounds. So I got a perm and I straightened my teeth and I bought the Wonder Bra, but that wasn't doing the trick. So I decided to go to the spa, use facial cream, soak myself in mud, wrap myself in cellophane, but I knew it didn't really work. So I went to the doctor. I got my nose slimmed, my tummy stapled, my thighs sucked. Thought about getting a rib or two removed, you know, like Cher. But I figured they've got to be there for something. And hey, that's just going too far. Thank you. And now I'm going to call my wonders. I'm going to be late because I'm going to be eating at our tourist. Please get up for Bob Rashkow. Bob, so get out there.
Al DeGenova should have 1,000 people.
But we have a nice dedicated crowd tonight.
And
Very
that's
small
the
crowd.
beauty of having a podcast and things that anybody can see it. I love people across the country are like, I'm glad I could see this online. So
Thank you.
That's true. That's true. They can watch it. You're welcome. I'm going to read, if we go around again, I'll read a couple of things that are by me, but otherwise, these are by other people. And many of you know Erin Teagarden. She used to lead the Reconstruction Room readings over at Black Rock for a while, which were kind of cool. She's also a great poet and an instructor at Columbia College.
Speak up, Bob!
And this is from another Chicago magazine, which is now published by Jacob Knabb, and from issue 50, about a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago. It's called Name Calling. On top of everything, there's this man who doesn't really love me. We stroll through the cemetery, and he takes my hand, puts it on his cock through his pants, and kisses me, hat to sunglasses. The blue heron by the service pond eyes us. The moths and grasses stir up, and I feel my heart tight in the heron beak. I sink soft into a new grave bed. The man and I get good at playing games. We name ourselves the comfortable dead, members of the poorer family, the sweet family. And when I point out these headstones as they pass, we're laughing. I say to him, hey, that's you. And that's you too. And this is by Rory Jobst, one of the Rorsky play poems about, many poems about celebrities, which I think I've actually gotten a third of the way through so far. For his friend Suzanne Suffredin. It's called Tom Cruise Decides on a Gmail Address. None of you have heard this, although I did read it Monday night in Jackson. Category: clever disguises of famous name. Map other for Thomas at gmail.com. Tomas Cruz at gmail.com. Ex-Tomcat Holmes at gmail.com. Stories Dad at gmail.com. Tommy Boat Trip at gmail.com. Half a cylindrical drum with no snare level portion of aircraft travel at gmail.com. Not Tom Cruise at gmail.com. Category: hybrid movie references. Mission Risky at gmail.com. Interview with Last Samurai at gmail.com. A Few Good Rain Men at gmail.com. Magnolia of Thunder at gmail.com. Minority Gun at gmail.com. Category: regrets. Almost Salt at gmail.com. Almost Scissorhands at gmail.com. Almost Bart's Big Brother on that one episode of The Simpsons at gmail.com. Almost a Priest at gmail.com. Cocktail at gmail.com. Category: you so crazy. Couch Jumper at gmail.com. Psychiatry Sucks at gmail.com. My Inner Thetan at gmail.com. Iron Completes Me at gmail.com. Women Smell Good at gmail.com. Category: so obvious people may not even think of testing it out to see if it works. Tom Ruse C at gmail.com. Uh-oh, stupid dyslexia. Or is it? Thanks.
Funny.
Very cool, thank you. I think I see her already walking up, so ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Ms. Virginia Hunt. Come on over here. Woo!
All right, thank you. Let me see here. First piece is called Muse. It's pretty much about inspiring each other. What is your muse? Your story here. Who inspires it? All or part of it? Is it the person you loved that broke your heart in two and angered you so? Or the idea that everybody else doesn't care for one bit, yet it's your world? It could be a story, a true event, which set your soul ablaze and inspire a newer tale, only to be told by your voice. Can be love, or sorrow and fury, the emotions you try to hide at times. Was it the person who saved you and the life you were about to go to? Did memory become your muse, or knowledge of a total unknown? A simple question beginning with a why could inspire your newborn story, could become your newborn muse, something that could, in a turn or two or three, become many more muses and stories to give out the hope and inspiration needed to make the changes the world needs. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's see here. Yes, I was about to pass it. This is it's a little late on my end, but this is kind of my piece for 9/11. It's called Strength of the Human Spirit. It's kind of vulgar, mind you. Dear angels and spirits in the heaven skies, thank you for your protection over those near and dear to my heart and I. I would not have known of all that fucked up bullshit that fucked up those who clearly don't deserve it, yet gave the douche waffles that royal treatment equally suit for a king. Also, please send a message to that true asshole Lucifer. Do not underestimate the real strength of the human spirit anymore. Because quite frankly, the chaos he has caused has not only created more fear into more lives than not, but also created a newer hope, of which Lucifer himself has yet to see in its truest form to date, which gives every one of us an advantage much better and greater than his stupid ass has ever placed proper thought into, if he had thought about it first. But if I must say something, it's that I'm forever grateful of the human spirit. For that, showing to all what compassion means. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Last piece, it's called An Unheard Storyteller. I'm doing a little 30-day poetry writing challenge of my own. So it's a poem a day throughout this month. Fast or slow, positive or negative, joy or pain or redemption. Every type of story must be told by someone, either myself, an unknown and unheard of storyteller, or someone who is far more known than I currently am in this day and age. But nevertheless, every one of us has a story to tell somehow. No matter its extreme, that story turns out to be, in the very end of it all. Because your story is just that. Your story, not mine. The story of your creation, your most vivid imagination. Something, anything, that you can recall at all. Even if for a very brief moment. So if one must know just what it takes to have a story that has to be told, all I can say is this. That story you know you have has to have meaning and be told from you, your heart. One that is so meaningful that the entire living world is moved and inspired by your story's very ending. They will all have a story of their very own to show off to the world. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm walking up with the clipboard, so I wasn't clapping adequately. So I have to I clap like a buffoon. Sorry. What am I doing?
Oh, God.
It's just like, it's not really loud, but very talented. Now I think I'm going to have one from a wonderful woman. I'm really looking forward to hearing what she's got to say. So please give it up for Andy. Andy, Karol, get on up here. Come on.
Oh, yes, it's very positive. Double flush positive.
Maybe that's pressure. I'm Andy. This is actually my first time doing open mic. I'm excited.
Get the tomatoes ready.
I'm sorry?
Get the tomatoes ready.
So you guys are my guinea pigs, so thank you. Please don't throw the tomatoes. Fall leaves, maybe. Alright, well this first one, it's really about kind of self-love and realizing that you need to love yourself before you can love somebody else fully, and before you can get them to love you as well. And with that said, you also sometimes need a little bit of help. It's called human. Today I'm making myself into candy, so I can fill you with the words I mean. Can you stomach me more than butterflies? I want to be wished into each of your lashes, so when you close your eyes, I never go away, like the times I sometimes do. Stopwatch my feet, shotgun my intentions, because they're all still there at the starting line, wanting to always win, but never finish. Last night I was drawing ferns on my floor to cleanse the air and to help you see the me I sometimes lose to myself. Into the veins of the leaves I breathed my dreams and replaced the green of the envy with the dark blue that promises possibilities for me. Can you imagine a field of starry-eyed ferns? I can. Because my mind works as pinwheels that move to action when your breath is delicate on me. Don't blow me away because your dreams of us got stranded on dandelion stems. My feet were too heavy to come back to you, stepping down each stair. 3 flights, I gave you each of those times 5 to reason me away for good. I'm learning to be human. Learning what it means to forgive myself, but the race isn't won by a run to the front door. Did you know the muscles burn more on the way down than on the way up those stairs of yours? Sunsets of bruises on my skin need to be soaked in a bath of love poems I write to myself. So this next one's for me, more than it is for you, and I ask for your patience since my interpretation is fast, but my writing is slow, pulling me to stubborn like the moon that holds to the sky when the sun turns the spotlight on herself. I stay quiet, like the pause after the finale, but I have an encore of kisses for you like a metronome that won't quit. I'll be writing that last verse when you say, you're too human now. I'll say, maybe I always was. I pulse in my wrist as your blood brother. I bleed to the same moon as you as your sister, and maybe that's why we bleed. So we can learn to forgive those who break us. And if the race we're all running is the human one, then I'm breaking through that ribbon and stealing gold. Thanks.
Yeah.
She's like, can I just do one?
I have one more. I was just going to do one, but okay.
I was about to say, I should say, and this is not, if you'd like, your call, and if you want to say
Save it, because we probably have just 20 minutes left, and we could round robin it. If you wanted to take a break and be a finale one here, and come back and do that a little bit later.
When's our reading?
Woo! I mean,
When's our reading?
that would be in like a half hour's time, but I want to be,
We got until 9 o'clock, so I wanted to be able to make sure if people wanted to round robin and do a few more.
I'm done.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we're done.
I'm
We
done.
want out.
Is there nobody? Is there like?
I'll
That's
do,
fine.
I got it.
That's
We
fine.
want out.
Yeah.
So what should I do?
Around
Put out.
Round robin,
End it.
for whoever can do it.
Do
All right.
the picture.
1 poem per person. You could just start the round robin if you'd like, unless you'd like to have it. Your call.
What do you guys want?
No, they just say go on, stay here, get over, get over.
Alright. So to go on with the whole breakup thing and loving and all that jazz. But this one is about basically getting breaking up and then moving on, realizing what you want, and it's not always what you think you want, but you get to this point in your life, and you're like, all right, I'm now a little bit older and I know what I want, and I'm not stopping for anything. It's called Napkin Poem. Plus, the best poems are written on napkins, I think. It's just. You were my last napkin poem, my last cry for help, my last deity of worship. I slaved my hurried thoughts for you. I wove your every fiber after each tear. The condensation from your water glass left behind in molecular crop circles. Hydration is key to good health, and I never planned for you to go dry. You would turn me on, then leave me hard, like you would to an unfinished love poem, and you did. My next lover will come with tear-stained cheeks and wine-stained lips. She'll come in packaging that says, try me now. She won't claim an emotional IQ, then dress in tank tops to wear her heart in her chest. My arms will wrap her like a tattoo sleeve. My ink will write her name in love letters. My next lover, she will be the love poem you never wrote to me. She will rhyme with my syllables and be the fountain of youth in my pen. She'll be a napkin poem I'll protect in my pocket. Remove before I take care of my dirty laundry. I will smell her downy shirt and think home. I will call her lover and hear the same, reciprocals being the only math I ever seemed to get right in school because they said I need it in the real world, and I do. I need you, lover. I need the you I have never met, but maybe I did, and it was just the change of seasons that caught up to me. I can go back in time to memories. I can future my thoughts to what I want, and I want the all of you that warms the whiskey on the cold rocks, that wipes the crumbs from fallen conversations at dinner parties. I want to never clench you in my fist, but I will write you in pen and keep your permanence for as long as I can. Even the loveliest of napkin poems are tossed away eventually, but I promise to only write my truth on you, and to hold on to that truth for as long as I can. For as long as there is maybe. Thanks.
Yeah.
have to say, I think that was longer than what you could fit on a napkin. But, you know, that was awesome. And for anybody who didn't happen to notice, the 2013 schedule has just been posted online. I sent it out to the list, and no, yes, some of you I see here are already taking spots, and Charlie Newman's taking spots. You know, Andy, would you like a feature? You could have a spot if you wanted info for it. It is so yours. You could pick a date. That'd be awesome. Because we're doing a call for people that would do like a 20-minute set after the open mic. And now, I've just said, well, I'll ask you later, blah, blah, blah. I'm saying there are round robins for anybody that would like to do one piece. I'm imagining that Patrick Hurley was, I think, Bob Rashkow has something of his own he wants to read. I'm trying to pull it off in order. Who wants to come up?
I don't have anything on it.
Did Patrick Hurley want to come up?
I'm done.
Is he looking through pages?
Yeah, it looks like.
Is he going up? Then get on up here and take a poem.
He's coming.
Or else Bob Rashkow doesn't take your place, really.
He's coming.
One more round for Patrick, yeah! Woo!
What if they're short?
Well, if it's you might be able to get away with Yes.
All right. So the opening poem of Screws Fall Out. The perfect poem. What is the perfect poem? What does it take to give one the feeling, the emotion? Is it formed of love, love lost or gained, beating hearts or bleeding hearts? What forms the perfect poem? Anger of political disposition, ranting and raving against the system, against the world and the state of your social status, spreading the hate you bemoan. How does one craft the perfect poem? Through clever witticisms, tongue-dripping imagery, humorous jibs and jeers, setting oneself up on a plateau while pushing others deep in the valley below, or begging for the sympathetic savior to your self-deprivation. Does the perfect poem make us cry, make us laugh? Does it bring us to a place of empathy, a collective spiritual rendezvous in the ether of our hidden universe, and hold us there until we are all one? No. The perfect poem is born out of each of us when we conceive the idea, the thought, the emotion, and wrap words around that birth, then spew it out on paper or through voice in any language. Yes, the perfect poem lives within each of us. It is perfect in the nature of its being alone, and we are blessed by the experience of one sharing their perfection with us. Let us bow our heads, close our eyes, and embrace all who share their perfect poem. Thank you.
Who's next? I don't have my list. Bob Rashkow, I know you got original stuff. Give it up for the Bobster himself! Yeah!
This is Scream Winner. This is for Tom and Jenene. And it was inspired by Vito's Art Colony reading a week and a half ago. And I read it here 2 weeks ago, so some of you have already read it. It's called Fetcher Wants an L. I read the signs all my life. Green expressway signs, yellow and black street signs. I'm reading the signs still. There's an auto repair sign across the street. The Queen of Diamonds reads her story poems in the vestibule of a gallery near Elston and Belmont. Her magic words wash gently over me, drowning the chatter within in scents of lavender and jasmine. I breathe slowly in, out. I glance outside from my chair at the sign heralding the car shop. Something is missing from the street address, which is unnecessary these days anyway, since any business location is easily retrievable in the Information Express. A letter is absent, left postmarked but undelivered. Still, it doesn't seem to matter. It fits the pattern. I view myself, trying to appear relaxed as the handsome young slammer half listens in anticipation of the rest of his Saturday night. As a fetcher of ideas, of names, of signs, of words, paint me a pretty picture. I will provide the caption. It doesn't have to be a New Yorker cartoon. It can be graffiti on the L, and Fletcher no longer misses its L
It's gone to join me on my magical search for the directions to that ideal, perfect vista. Thank you.
Well done.
It's awesome when it comes up. Yo, who now like buffoons? And I happen to have this on da 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 ba ba ba. If anybody did not get a chance to dump anything into this, well, I figured, people show up later. We're lazy or it's like, I don't know. Oh wait, there's an extra 50 in my pocket here. Something. I don't know. It's here so you can come and bug me. I believe that Miss Virginia Hunt was up. Was there anybody else that wanted to come up? I want to make sure I've got everybody. Everybody's like, no. We're all good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Virginia, get on up here again. Come on.
Hey, thank you. This one's called Time to End the Hate. LGBTP says for I'm an ally of you guys. Y'all are amazing. Free yourself of the hatred that's clearly inside your heart and soul of such that you expect everybody else to think and be exactly like you. That any other way is, according to you, considered as a devil and is evil, and honestly, it's about time that people like you stop that. It's time to stop the hate that those who share your demonic ways create. As more people live in fear and despair and cannot live a life that they can actually enjoy to the fullest. From that type of hatred that it's brought to them within this very present day as such. Because more innocent life is lost from that such hatred people like you created. And it will be those like you who will get the blame for the loss of all life from your stupidity and way of thinking to believe your way is the best when it really leads to true catastrophe. Thanks.
Exactly.
Awesome, thank you very much. Well, I had to read this just for the ending because I have no idea where I'd ever read this anymore. This is how I'm going to end this open mic. It's called Glomming Off the Wrestling World. Okay, so I thought I may frequent the wrong kinds of bars, but the posters I see there are the same as the ads for the pay-per-view wrestling events and matches. Men shirtless and oiled up, flexing, wearing only shorts and looking as mean as they can. And all of their oily chests are emblazoned with tattoos, phrases in Chinese reading, or long swords being thrust upwards into a wrestler's neck. So I walk into a store today, and standing near a door, I see a sign with a poster of a muscular man looking all oiled up with a tattoo on his chest, and it says Malo in a block next to his body. So I decided to walk over to the poster of this man in his shorts so I could read what his tattoo said. It said, "My heart is the only thing that's made of stone." This confused me. I mean, no wrestler in his right mind would tattoo that on him. Then I glanced at that waistband on his shorts and saw that Malo logo again. So I looked over and saw that it was an ad for underwear by Mario Lopez. It's a shame that the wrestling world now has to contend with someone like Mario Lopez trying to glom off the wrestling image to sell boxer shorts. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a 5-minute break, and then we're going to have a phenomenal feature from Ani DiFranco. So grab a drink and come back in just a few. Thank you.